Hello there, psychology students. Professor Zeeb here, and welcome to the class. So I thought I would create this video just to kind of introduce myself and to orient you towards the class. So I am Professor Zeeb. I've been teaching this class for 20 years and am absolutely pumped to be working with you this semester. My background is, of course, in psychology, but more specifically, educational psychology. And some of my hobbies, just so you can kind of get to know me, I like to scuba dive and snorkel. I also play guitar in a band. And so that's kind of what I do when I'm outside the classroom and not teaching. Anyway, welcome to fall 2025 semester, Intro to Psychology. I just want to point out, because I've been getting some questions about this particular section is designated as an honors section. And what that basically means is that we have students that are not honors students as well as students that are. So they've added some honors students to our section. So if you're an honors student, what that basically means is that you'll be completing a research paper assignment. And if you're not in the honors section, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just going to be doing the regular work. So honors section, really just doing all the major work, but in addition, you'll be doing the research paper. By the way, you'll find the information for that for the honors students in the orientation module. And I put a little page there for the honors students, so make sure you check that out and then let me know if you have questions. All right, let's go over some announcements, some things to expect, some things I want to mention to get you geared up for the semester. Okay, so number one, get the textbook as soon as possible. Okay, so if you have not already, please get your textbook because that is absolutely mandatory. You'll be using that for all of your assignments pretty much, and you'll be able to, you'll have to be able to cite that as well. And of course, to succeed on the quizzes and so forth. So you need to get the textbook as soon as possible. I do have a copy of the book on reserve at the library for you. So the way that works is you can use it in the library only. So that is there for you. So that's an option for you if you can't afford the book or you're waiting for your copy to arrive. So please get the textbook as soon as possible. Number two, please read the syllabus. So I've posted that in Canvas. You can see that right there from the home screen. So there's a link to the syllabus. Please make sure you take the time to go through the syllabus and read it carefully, and then let me know if you have questions, because I do have a lot of policies and different things in the class. So I'm going to expect you to read that and then understand it, of course, and ask questions if you don't. All right, so this week you have a discussion assignment that is up and running, our first discussion. The discussion assignments are a little tricky. They always kind of confuse some people. They do have two due dates. So they have the original post due date and the peer reply due date. Okay. So your first due date for the original post is due on August 29th. So that is rapidly approaching. Okay. And then you'll turn in your two peer replies on September 5th. So they do have two due dates. You're required to submit both of those. By the way, this assignment is really important because I'm using it for participation to see who is active in the class and who is not. So keep in mind, if you do not turn in your original post by the 29th, you will probably be dropped from the class. Okay, so once again, I get people that sign up for the class and they don't do any work for various reasons. So this lets me know that you're active in the class, you're serious about it, and you're completing the work. So that is mandatory. The original post due on August 29th. And then remember the two replies are due on the 5th. So sometimes Canvas will only give you the second due date. So I'm telling you now, it's on the syllabus. There are two due dates for the discussion assignments. Okay, like a lot of students ask me, Professor Z, where is the work? What am I supposed to be doing? So if you go to modules, you'll find modules on the left side of the screen in Canvas. You click on that, and then I will be unveiling each unit as we hit them. So unit 1 is up and running, as well as the orientation module. Make sure you look at those. I'm going to point your attention to the unit summaries, which are found in each unit. And that basically lays out what you're supposed to do by when. So please make sure you read that. because that will keep you on track. It'll give you all the due dates and know what to expect in the coming week or so. Okay, so once again, please go to modules to find the work, the assignments, the quizzes, for example, but also to read the unit summaries to be on track with the course. Each chapter will have a quiz, and sometimes there will be 2 quizzes per chapter. By the way, your first quiz, the chapter 1 quiz, is due on the 31st. So August 31st, another mandatory assignment. So please keep in mind that if you do not complete this, I will probably be dropping you from the class. Once again, I'm using it to gauge active participation in the class. So if you're not active, you will probably be dropped to make room for other students. With the quizzes, you do get to drop your lowest quiz score. So Canvas will do that automatically for you. You don't need to do anything. So for example, if you don't take a quiz or you get a score you don't like, Canvas will automatically drop whatever your lowest quiz score is up to that point, and that will continue throughout the semester, okay? The quizzes can be taken twice, so I give you 2 attempts. It is timed, so make sure you've read the material and have studied it before you begin the quiz. Okay, so you have 15 minutes to complete each quiz, and you do get 2 attempts. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the one-time late pass. So in the class, I've provided you with a one-time late pass, and what that basically means is that you get to turn in one assignment late if you choose to do so. This does come with a 20% penalty before grading, so you are penalized for using it, but I'm going to give you a little leeway in terms of your assignment to turn it in late. Now, to be able to qualify for that or to be granted that, you have to email me within 24 hours of the due date, tell me which assignment you've missed and why, okay? So if 2 days pass after the due date and you don't say anything, in other words, after 24 hours is what I mean by that, I will not be allowing you to turn in a late assignment if you missed it, okay? So please make sure you're communicating with me and let me know if you would like to use that late pass. You only get to use it once during the semester, and I'm going to expect you to be responsible and, of course, communicate with me and let me know uh, if you'd missed an assignment within 24 hours. Remember, that's 24 hours after the due date. You can communicate to me up to that point to qualify for that. Make sure you check your student assigned or college assigned email account daily. I do send out messages as well as the announcements in Canvas. Okay, so I want you to check that at least once a day because those announcements can come at any time. So, for example, if there's a change in a due date or there's some kind of issue, extra credit, or whatever it is, it's my way of communicating with you. So, you are required to check your email account and the announcements at least once a day. Okay. Remember, that's how I'm communicating with you, and that's really the only way I can reach you, possibly. So I'm expecting you to check that. All right. Another question I get from students is when are our live sessions? When are we meeting? Well, this class is completely what we call asynchronous, which means there are no live online meetings. Basically, the work is all set up for you in Canvas, unit by unit, okay? So you're not required to be online at a certain time or day or anything like that. You work at your own pace as long as you complete the work and meet the deadlines and due dates that are listed on the syllabus and in the unit summaries, okay? So we're not meeting for any live sessions. An important point with the class is something called APA format. That's the next thing I would like to talk about. So all of your assignments will be formatted using APA format, which basically is a system for how you cite your sources and list them on the reference page. And you are 100% required to do that. Now, some of you may not have done this before. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to educate you on how to do it because a lot of you will be using this your entire career. So APA format, once again, is a way to cite your sources. So I've given some information in the orientation module, and I've given some examples of how to do that. So whenever you're citing the textbook or a video in Canvas, for example. This will explain how to do it. That's found in the orientation module. Now, if you would like, we can meet online and I can help you. If you have questions, for example, I'm willing to do that. But once again, you can easily look that up in the orientation module. And by the way, our textbook is cited using APA format. So that's another source you can use to kind of look at how they cite their sources in the textbook. Okay. So once again, you're going to use APA format for all of your assignments. You will be penalized if you do not do this. So please make sure you are know how to do this and ask me questions if you have them. Another problem we've been having at the college is students using AI to complete their assignments. You cannot use AI in any way to help write your assignments or to write your assignments for you. I 100% will be checking that, and you will be heavily penalized if you do so. In fact, I will not accept your assignment if there's any sort of inclination that AI has been used. You have to write them completely in your own words using the sources that I provided, i.e. the textbook, videos, information in Canvas. You have to write them on your own to show me you understand the material, okay? So please do not risk using AI because I will be checking and you will be heavily penalized if you do so. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, I want to talk about office hours. So I do hold virtual office hours every Monday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Okay, I'll be doing that through Zoom, but I'll also be monitoring my email at that time as well. So if you want to shoot me an email during that time, you can. I always check that anyway. But if you want to speak to me through Zoom, you can hop online Monday mornings, 9 to 10, and I will be there to communicate with you. So the link to our Zoom room is in the Start Here page. So if you go to Canvas on the home screen, there's a link that says Start Here. So if you scroll down, you'll find the Zoom link, and then that's how you will access it on Monday mornings, okay? If you cannot meet Monday mornings, maybe you're working or something, we can always arrange another time and day to meet. You would just have to let me know when you're available. And then hopefully both of our schedules will align where we can meet up through Zoom if you want to speak to me, for example. So I'm definitely willing to do that outside of the office hours if you need help. All right. Please make sure you go to the Start Here page as well and look at that information. It's kind of summing up what I've already said, but giving some additional resources as well. So the Start Here page, which is found from the home screen, please check that out if you have not already. By the way, if you ever need help or if you have questions, please email me or show up to the office hours. I would appreciate it if you get those questions to me as soon as possible to give me time to get back to you. So I do check my email every day, usually multiple times per day, but I do need time to get back to you. So if you have a question, please don't email me Sunday evening, at 9 p.m. I'm not going to be online answering those. You have to give me time to get back to you. But I'm definitely willing to help you and answer those questions to the best of my ability. So you can always email me if you have questions. All right. Well, it's going to be an awesome semester. Like I said, I'm really excited to work with you. You're going to love this class. That the information is so relatable in so many ways. And so I know that you're going to find it's going to connect to you personally or through people you know, like family members and friends, for example. And it's very useful anytime you're interacting with people. So I hope you enjoy the course. Remember, drop me a line if you have questions, and have a great semester.